Did Hailey Van Lith just make the worst first impression in WNBA draft history? After being selected 11th overall by the Chicago Sky, her reaction to rejoining former LSU teammate Angel Reese was about as enthusiastic as someone watching Reese make a layup. My goodness, the young lady at TCU has been reunited with Angel Reese. Now you may be like, well, what's the big deal there? Because she already got the hell away from her once. She escaped her once, and if that wasn't enough to raise eyebrows, she then decided to disrespect Caitlyn Clark on live TV. Is this the beginning of the most awkward rookie season we've ever seen? And will Van Lith actually make Reese fans and Clark fans finally agree on something? We'll break it all down. Are you ready? Let's go. With the 11th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Hailey Van Lith, Texas Christian University. The 2025 WNBA draft was supposed to be a night of celebration and new beginnings for every player selected. But when Hailey Van Lith's name was called with the 11th pick by the Chicago Sky, the cameras captured something entirely unexpected. Instead of the customary excitement, tears of joy, or triumphant smiles we saw from other draftees, Van Lith's expression registered what many fans immediately described as pure horror. That single moment, her face in what appeared to be genuine dread during an interview, instantly became the talking point of the entire draft. The contrast couldn't have been more stark. While other players were hugging family members, pumping fists, and beaming with pride, Van Lith seemed to be processing a nightmare in real time. The split second when the announcement came, her eyes widened, her smile faltered, and a look of unmistakable dismay washed over her face. Even as she composed herself seconds later, the damage was done. Viewers had witnessed her authentic reaction, not the polished response she quickly tried to substitute. Social media exploded within minutes. A post showing Van Lith's reaction with the caption, "Hailey Van Lith smiling through the pain of returning to toxic hell," racked up over 6 million views, striking a chord with fans who immediately understood the subtext. After all, this wasn't just any team selection. This was a forced reunion with Angel Reese, a former teammate with whom Van Lith appeared to have a complicated history. The awkwardness reached new heights during her post-draft interview, when she responded to questions about rejoining Reese with a tight-lipped, "Oh, I love that energy," that felt about as genuine as Reese's heavily edited workout videos. That comment became instant fodder for critics, who sarcastically mimicked her response and didn't hold back his skepticism about the situation. What made the moment even more uncomfortable was the sharp contrast with Reese's apparent enthusiasm. While Van Lith seemed to be dreading the reunion, Reese took to social media with the message, "We ain't do it right the first time. Let's run it back." A statement that read either as blissfully unaware or purposefully provocative, depending on your interpretation. The draft night disaster suddenly cast a spotlight on what had previously been speculation about Van Lith's time at LSU. After transferring from Louisville to join the defending national champions back in 2024, her performance had mysteriously declined. The star guard, who once averaged nearly 20 points per game, saw her production plummet to just 11.6 points alongside Reese. Look at this face. Look at this face. God bless her. I mean, the pain and anguish. That's not, "I'm about to lose it and I'm happy to be drafted and no. Let's not even go down that road. I think we all know better." LSU coach Kim Mulkey's previously cryptic comments now seem to carry new weight. When asked about locker room issues during that season, Mulkey had ominously stated, "You always have to deal with locker room issues. That's just part of coaching. In 40 years, I can never think of a time where I didn't have to deal with issues. That's what coaches do. Sometimes you'll know about them and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want to know more than you're entitled to know. I'm going to protect my players, always. They are more important. It's like a family, Scott. Let me ask you this. If you do some disciplining of your own children, do you think we're entitled to know that?" Combined with Reese's mid-season absence and Van Lith's eventual transfer to TCU to escape what many perceived as a difficult situation, the puzzle pieces began fitting together. The draft night reaction wasn't just about basketball. It was about mental health and professional autonomy. As Jason Whitlock pointed out, Van Lith has been very honest about her mental health struggles. She's cried on camera about how great things were at TCU. Her transfer to TCU had been an attempt to revitalize her career and find a healthier environment, making the Chicago selection feel like a cruel cosmic joke, forcing her back into a situation she had deliberately left. For the Chicago Sky, the situation raises uncomfortable questions. Have they just drafted a player who already has significant chemistry issues with their apparent franchise player, Angel Reese? Will the tension between Van Lith and Reese undermine team cohesion before they've even stepped on the court together? The concerns around team chemistry aren't just fan speculation anymore. They're written all over Van Lith's face for the world to see. Those team chemistry concerns weren't just visible on draft night. They were written into the statistical record long before Van Lith's expression told the whole story. When a player goes from headliner to afterthought, the numbers reveal everything about what really happened behind the scenes. I think she's already experienced what it's like to play with Angel Reese, who is a narcissist and selfish, and, my understanding, a nightmare for all teammates to deal with. At Louisville, Van Lith wasn't just good. She was the centerpiece of a major program's offense. Her 19.7 points per game made her one of college basketball's premier scorers, the kind of player coaches design entire game plans around. She was a volume shooter who earned those opportunities through consistent production and leadership. Then came the transfer to LSU, and everything changed. The collapse in Van Lith's production wasn't simply a matter of adjusting to new teammates or a different system. Her scoring plummeted by over 40%, falling all the way to 11.6 points per game. The kind of statistical nosedive that raises serious questions about how she was utilized in the offense. Hey, it's over. HVL was feeling sick. I feel terrible for her, I do. The year before at Louisville, almost 20 a game. What does that tell you about her hell that she's got coming? She got away once. She can't escape, but the raw scoring numbers only tell part of the story. What's more revealing is how her opportunities vanished. Game tape from LSU season shows a clear and concerning pattern. Van Lith frequently stationed in the corner, essentially removed from offensive sets. While she stood waiting for passes that rarely came, Angel Reese dominated possessions, shot attempts, and offensive rebounds. This wasn't merely bad luck or poor fit. It appeared systematic. Basketball analysts noticed Van Lith's diminishing role and the visible frustration that came with it. Far too often, she was open for shots but ignored by teammates, creating a feedback loop where her contributions became increasingly marginalized. The offensive strategy at LSU mirrored troubling reports about priorities within the Chicago Sky's system last season. Just as LSU's plays seemed designed to inflate Reese's statistical profile, Teresa Weatherspoon reportedly lost her coaching position with the Sky, partly due to an offense too focused on maintaining Reese's double-double streak, rather than maximizing team success. According to league sources, Weatherspoon had lost the locker room because of a culture to cater to the needs of a few players. Dear Lord, remember this play? This is the very definition of stat padding. You are down by 22 points. And you've got the Fever's bench player, playing against bench player, starter, just so that she can get her double-double. Consider what this means for Van Lith's development. A player who thrived as a primary option suddenly found herself relegated to a supplementary role that failed to leverage her strengths. Her shooting percentages suffered, her confidence appeared to wane, and the player who once commanded the court at Louisville became almost unrecognizable. Jesus. Hailey had her worst season playing with Reese, and it wasn't even close. I just showed you the numbers. Hailey Van Lith. Smiley to the pain of returning to toxic hell. Ha ha. There's your boy right there. The pattern of relegating teammates to support Reese's statistical achievements raises legitimate questions about what awaits in Chicago. Will Van Lith once again find herself standing in corners while plays run through Reese? Will the Sky's offensive system evolve to incorporate both players' strengths? or will history repeat itself? For Chicago's coaching staff, the challenge goes beyond X's and O's. It's about managing personalities and creating an environment where multiple talents can flourish simultaneously. The evidence from LSU suggests this won't happen naturally. It will require intentional strategy and perhaps difficult conversations about roles and expectations. With this context, Van Lith's draft night reaction transforms from puzzling to perfectly understandable. It wasn't just about reuniting with a former teammate. It was about potentially re-entering a situation that previously derailed her basketball trajectory. The statistical collapse at LSU didn't just hurt her draft position. It threatened the very foundation of her basketball identity. Just when Van Lith thought her situation couldn't get more complicated, she single-handedly created a rivalry with women's basketball's brightest star, Caitlyn Clark. And it happened not on the court, but during what should have been a harmless draft night interview game. During the 2025 WNBA draft festivities, Van Lith faced what seemed like a simple question, a standard start, bench, cut scenario featuring Diana Taurasi, Sabrina Ionescu, and Caitlyn Clark. Those final two words, cut Caitlyn, instantly transformed what should have been a forgettable orange carpet moment into what might become one of the most consequential statements of Van Lith's young career. For Hailey Van Lith, oh, you gave a bad answer. Yikes. Right off the bat, she's feeling the fire from Caitlyn Clark fans. Now, she's already felt some fire from Caitlyn Clark in the past. To be honest with you, during some LSU Iowa games, social media erupted immediately. Fans who were already analyzing Van Lith's body language during her drafting now had concrete words to fuel their criticism. The basketball world seemed genuinely shocked. Here was an unproven rookie willingly placing a target on her back by dismissing the league's fastest rising star. What made this decision particularly puzzling was that other draftees, when presented with the same question, either tactfully opted out entirely or made sure not to cut Clark, recognizing both her talent and the unnecessary drama that would come from suggesting they'd cut her. But to truly understand why this comment hit so hard, you need to know the history between these two players. This wasn't just a random rookie taking a swipe at an established star. This was personal. Clark and Van Lith have faced off in consecutive NCAA tournaments, with Clark's Iowa teams eliminating Van Lith both times in the Elite Eight. And these weren't just regular wins. They were dominations. In 2023, Clark dropped an incredible 41 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists against Van Lith's Louisville squad, including a particularly memorable step-back three-pointer made directly in Van Lith's face. Fast forward to 2024, and the nightmare continued when Clark delivered another 41-point performance against LSU, frequently scoring while being defended by Van Lith. Look at Caitlyn Clark, is really good. That's really good. I mean, the look of pain on her face. Jesus again. Yeah, the history makes Van Lith's decision to cut Clark feel less like an innocent game answer, and more like an attempt to reclaim some dignity after being repeatedly outplayed on college basketball's biggest stage. But what might have felt like a momentary satisfaction has now created an entirely avoidable pressure cooker for Van Lith's rookie season. Basketball analysts have compared Van Lith's move to a rookie insulting the CEO on their first day, a needless complication before playing a single professional minute. While some might argue this shows competitive fire, the reality is that Clark already had every competitive advantage, more talent, more popularity, more success, before this comment. Now she also has bulletin board material. The May 17th matchup between Chicago and Indiana, which might have been just another early season game, has transformed into must-watch television. Every possession where Clark and Van Lith share the court will be scrutinized. Every basket Clark scores against Van Lith will be clipped, shared, and memed. The pressure will be entirely one-sided. Clark has nothing to prove, while Van Lith has created expectations she must now meet. This pattern of WNBA players seemingly taking unnecessary shots at Clark has become increasingly noticeable. Whether it stems from genuine competitive spirit or discomfort with the attention she receives, these comments consistently backfire, only increasing Clark's popularity while creating headaches for those who make them. What Caitlyn Clark, if you ever set foot on the floor to guard Caitlyn Clark, You better be pissed that your team draft the Sivkans have set us an eye rivers to guide Caitlyn Clark. Which what Caitlyn Clark is going to do to your team on May the 16th or 17th, whenever the game is going to violate the Geneva Convention. For Van Lith, the stakes are particularly high. Having already experienced a statistical freefall in her final college season, she now enters a professional situation where she'll reunite with the teammate associated with that decline, while simultaneously having provoked the league's most popular player. For a rookie trying to establish herself, it's difficult to imagine a more challenging set of circumstances. Talk about a powder keg ready to explode. The May 17th showdown between the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever has transformed from a regular season matchup into must-see TV. What was already a highly anticipated game featuring Caitlyn Clark has now gained an extra layer of drama thanks to Van Lith's cut comment. Basketball fans aren't just circling this date because of the talent on display. They're waiting to see if Clark delivers a statement performance against the rookie who disrespected her. The college rivalry history between these two adds even more fuel to what promises to be one of the most watched regular season games in recent WNBA memory.